elaborate this session, we replicated the Pacman game. So we'll have to calculate the average speed of one ghost. This case will be the speed of ghost number 2. And also we'll have to calculate and determine the average velocity of Pacman, the displacement and time he did to get to the center. And also we're going to determine the acceleration it had on one path. On Pacman ULM, when I made 2 steps, my displacement was of 1 meter. On this pad, I made 6 steps, which means my displacement was of 3 meters. As the time I took to cross this pad was of 1 second, I can now calculate my final velocity, which will be the next one. During the Pacman MCA, my displacement was from 14.48 meters, and the time I took to complete this pad was of 4 seconds. Now that we have all the data we need, now we can calculate the final velocity, which will be 3.2 meters per second. And after that, we can calculate the acceleration, that will be 0.2 meters per squared second. Thanks to the Pythagoras theorem, we can calculate the displacement we did to get to the ball. Also, we have the time and the initial velocity, so now with the formula of the average velocity we can get it. Now to get the speed, the only thing we need to is to know the distance overall that we made to get to the ball, not the displacement but the distance, and also the time we used to get to there. But as we are using significant figures on all our data, now the speed will be of 1 meters per second.
The conclusion of the Pacman game was very simple. You had to run the shortest distance possible and have a constant speed. That means that you should not accelerate or decelerate. Because if you accelerate, when you took the time and your final speed, it will be more difficult, and if you went farther, you will have more calculations to get.
To sum up, these kind of games really teach us how in our daily lives we can see acceleration, average velocity, and how in a simple motion we can show all of this data. It's very important to know how it works acceleration, as well as the time and distance we take on a simple path, because it's something we do every day. So I think it's important just to get to know a few of these motions.